Guys, it's Jeff and welcome to today's video. So today we're going to talk about my predictions for the 2021 Rad Power Bikes lineup. I just want to preface this video by saying I don't have any kind of insider knowledge or any preview information for you guys. This is just my own speculation of what I think we can expect from Rad Power Bikes in 2021. And with that out of the way, let's just get right into it. This video is going to be split into basically three sections. In the first section, I want to talk about when I think the events are going to take place. Then I'm going to talk about what models I think are going to be impacted by these events. And then in the last section, I'm going to talk about what I think the changes are going to be for these models. So I think 2021 is going to be very similar to 2020 in terms of announcements. I think we can expect basically 3 announcements throughout the year. The major announcement is probably going to come at the end of this year, like late December or maybe early 2021, but my guess would be probably late December like they did last year. I think that was a pretty good timing for them to make their major announcements with all of their major model changes. Then I think we're probably going to see a more minor announcement probably somewhere in May or thereabouts. And then I think there's probably going to be another surprise announcement. Like this year we had the Rad Mission announcement in the summer in June. So I think we're probably going to see something fairly similar this year. There's probably going to be another surprise announcement with another completely left field product that we just didn't see coming that will happen somewhere in the summer of 2021. Now, as far as what models are going to be impacted in these announcements, I'm going to have some graphics on the side of the screen here because there is a lot to unpack. So I think what we're very likely to see, especially in a major announcement, is a renewal of the 3 major lines that Rad Power Bikes has got going on right now. So in that spirit, I think it's very likely that we are going to see a Rover 6, a Rover Step Through 2, a Mini 5, a Mini Step Through 3, a City 5, and a City Step Through 4. Now this is probably what's going to be in the major announcement at the end of this year and maybe early next year. I think it's very possible that during the minor announcement, they're also going to announce probably in May a Runner 2, a Runner 2 Plus, and a Wagon 5. These models tend to be announced a little later in the year. So if there are going to be any changes to these models, that's probably when it's going to happen. And it's very unlikely, I think, that we're going to see any kind of updates on the Rad Mission this year or on the Rad Burrow. The Mission, because it's brand new and it's just starting to ship out right now, so I think it's unlikely that they would update it in 2021. I think the Mission 2 is more likely to come early 2022, but then again, I could be wrong on that. And the Burrow 2, I don't really expect we're going to see anything like that anytime soon because this is a very niche product. Now, in terms of what the changes are going to be, unfortunately, I think one thing that we are very likely to see in 2021 is a pricing increase with inflation, with higher global demands, with lower supply chain capacity because of COVID and all that. We've been seeing a lot of parts shortages in 2020, and I don't think that is going to be fully resolved in 2021. So whether that's going to be disguised through changes with standard options now becoming optionals or just a straight up price increase, I can't really tell. I'm kind of split on that 50-50, but I think we can really expect a kind of $100-ish price increase. Now, another thing that I think is very likely we're going to see is new colors and maybe body designs. This year they introduced, a couple colors like the green, forest green and things like that. The Mission came in all sorts of colors, so I think it's fairly likely that across the range we're going to start seeing more colors. Maybe the blue and orange is going to become something a little more common, so we'll have to see about that, but I think it's very likely we're going to see some new colors this year. And I think it's pretty likely too that we're going to see a new fender design, so that could be one very good way that they could possibly hide a pricing increase through that by giving you, for example, maybe no fenders or maybe the old fenders as standard and then the newer, much better looking fenders as options, or just not having fenders at all anymore, and sort of hiding that through the new design, saying, well, this year new models are not going to have fenders and the option is going to be this, which is going to be fairly different from what he had before. So I think it's fairly likely that something's going to happen with the fenders, but I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out. But I think it's very possible as well, but I don't think we should put too much hope into that. Maybe they're going to try to justify some of the pricing increases by providing some improved tires or improved lights. These are 2 elements that I think a lot of people are quite often criticizing about the bikes, that the tires aren't very good and that the light isn't very good on them. And I think that's probably a good way for them to provide you with a little extra value for very little cost to them. So improved tires, improved lights, very possible, although I wouldn't bank too much on that. And then on the more unlikely side, and again, I'm not going to make a lot of friends with this, but I think it's very unlikely that we're going to see some improved brakes on the bikes, no matter how much I think they would be required. Most definitely not going to see some hydro brakes as standard on the new bike. Maybe some mechanically actuated hydros can find their way there, like the JuneTech M1s are a pretty popular option, which I think Rad could potentially decide to include, but I think again that's very very unlikely. I think they are most likely to stick with just the brakes that they have right now. So anyways, guys, that's just been some of my predictions for the 2021 Rad Power Bikes lineup. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Of course, let me know if you have other predictions of your own. Again, if this video ages poorly, I'm sorry. I'm just predicting these out of my head, and I don't have any insider knowledge, so maybe they're going to go to a completely different direction, and that is totally fine with me. This video is just for fun, and I hope you've enjoyed it, so I will see you Sunday for my next music video. All right, peace, guys.